With computer.
Hi.
Are we recording? We are recording. All right. I have a clue for you. Are you ready to sing with me?
Uh-huh.
Da da
Dum
da
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 dum
da da
da
da da da
da
da da da da da. Okay. Do you have an idea what we're gonna learn about today for our big idea?
Wait, is the idea?
What if we sing another song?
Yeah.
All right. Baby
Baby
shark
shark,
do
doo,
do
doo.
do
Wait,
do
this
do
gives
do.
away the
Baby
clue.
shark do do do
Do,
do.
do,
Well,
do.
yeah, we're gonna try and make it a little obvious. All right, what are we singing about? We are singing about sharks. All right, this week we are talking about underwater animals. Woohoo, super cool. Yesterday we talked about fish. Today we're going to talk about sharks. Sharks. Hey, fascinating. Julian, can you write the first two letters of sharks on here? And while Julian, hold on. Stick to the conversation here.
Okay.
All right.
Where's the mark?
Do you know how to write sharks?
Yep.
All right. While she's doing that, think, what two letters, when you put them together, make the sh sound? Shh. You have it?
Messed it up.
You gotta hurry. All right. Shh. All right. Just write the first two letters.
Okay.
All right. A little bit quicker. We'll get there. How you doing, bears? Ah, I miss you so much. I cannot wait to see you someday. Give you hugs. Can't do kisses.
Okay, there's
That
a
would
dead
not be good.
fish in its mouth.
All right.
There's
So
a dead fish in its
look at
mouth.
this. Here.
There's a dead fish in its
No,
mouth.
there's not. All right, look at these first two letters right here. S-H. S-H. Make the sh sound. Here, trace them with me now. Get your fingers, point them up, point towards the screen as we write them together. S-H. S-H. These are the first two letters in shark. Shh. All right, so to get things started off, I have a video for you. Let me pull it up here. Look at this. I'm getting so much better at this split screen stuff for you guys. All right, here's our SciShow kids. They are going to tell us about super sharks.
When you think of a shark, what do you picture in your mind? Do you think of a big fin sticking out of the water? Or maybe a huge set of sharp teeth? Sharks are some of the most famous animals in the ocean. But do you know what makes a shark a shark? Well, for one thing, all sharks are fish. That might not surprise you since they live and swim in the water, but sharks are a special kind of fish. One of the things that makes them different from other fish, like goldfish, is that sharks have a special skeleton. Our skeletons are made of bone, and so are the skeletons of most kinds of fish. But a shark's skeleton isn't made of bone. It's made of cartilage. And you have cartilage in your body too. You can feel it right now. Touch the tip of your nose. Wiggle it around. How's it feel? What about your ear? Can you bend it? You sure can, because the tip of your nose and your ear aren't filled with bone. They're filled with cartilage. Cartilage is a lot lighter than bone, and it bends easily. So having a skeleton made of this stuff helps sharks swim farther and faster than if their skeletons were made of bone. Now let's look at another body part that sharks are famous for, their teeth. Have you ever lost a baby tooth and then an adult tooth grew in? Well,
Yes.
Sharks lose their teeth all the time, throughout their entire lives, and they just keep growing new ones. How can they do that? You and I just have one row of teeth in our mouths, but sharks have lots of rows of teeth on the top and the bottom. So when a shark loses a tooth, another tooth that's right behind it can just move on up to take its place. Because they always have new teeth to replace the old ones, some sharks can lose thousands of teeth during their lives. All right, the next cool thing about sharks, their skin. If you could rub the skin of a shark, you'd find that it would feel smooth if you ran your hand in one direction. But if you rubbed your hand the other way, it would feel rough, like a cat's tongue. That's because a shark's skin is covered in tough, bony scales that actually look a little like tiny teeth. These little scales are stacked on top of each other like tiles on a roof. This helps sharks swim through the water quickly and quietly. So those are some of the things that all sharks have. But there are over 450 types of sharks in the world, and that means a lot of differences too. Take a look at this one. It's called a whale shark, and it's the biggest shark there is. In fact, it's the largest fish in the whole world. Whale sharks can grow to be as long as a school bus, but even though they're so big, they eat tiny plants and super small animals called plankton that float in the water. But not all sharks are as big as the whale shark. Some can also be tiny. Meet the dwarf lantern shark. It's so small that it could fit in my hand. This shark lives in the deep ocean where there's very little light, so it has big eyes to help see in the dark. Plus, it has a really neat feature. It has special organs on its belly, fins, and tail that actually glow. Scientists think this might help the lantern shark lure in prey for it to eat. Plus, when it's in shallower water where there's more light, these glowing lights can help it blend in to avoid predators. Finally, I'd like you to meet a very special shark. Say hello to the Greenland shark. This big shark spends most of its time swimming in very cold water, hanging out near the sea floor, looking for an easy snack. But scientists have recently discovered something amazing about these animals. Greenland sharks can live to be up to 400 years old. Of all the animals in the world with backbones known as vertebrates, Greenland sharks live the longest, at least that we know of. But scientists are still discovering new kinds of sharks all the time. So who knows what kinds of super sharks are still out there waiting to be found. What's your favorite animal? Do you want to learn more about it? Just ask a grown-up to help you and leave a comment below, or send us an email to kids@thescishow.com. We're excited to hear from you. Oh, and we're also really excited because we're making some changes to the fort. So stay tuned and we'll share a few surprises with you in the upcoming weeks. Thanks. We'll see you next time here at the fort.
All right. What did you guys think of that? Did you learn something new? I sure did. Oh, sorry. Whoop. Hey, I learned something new. That was pretty awesome. So, with that said, let's take a peek at National Geographic Kids. They have a bunch of information for us that we can learn about. This is the sand tiger shark. Do you see it? They look ferocious. They look ferocious, according to what it says here. But these fish are not very aggressive and are known to attack humans only when bothered first. All right, next picture. Sand tiger sharks gulp air into their stomachs to help them float. I did not know that. Next, sand tiger sharks hunt along the bottom of the ocean and feed on bony fish, crabs, lobsters, and other small sharks. So we are talking about sand tiger sharks. All right, lastly, a pair of pregnant sand tiger sharks swim over shallow coral. So what they're telling us is these are a couple pregnant. They have babies in their bellies, sand tiger sharks. All right, so sand tiger sharks are also known as sand tigers and gray nurse sharks. Like all sharks, they breathe underwater through their gills, which we learned about yesterday with fish. But sand tigers have one unique habit. They are the only sharks that come to the surface to gulp air, but not to breathe. The air ends up in its stomach. The air makes the shark more buoyant, so it can float motionless in the water as it watches for prey. Fascinating. Julianne, shut the door.
Okay.
All right, so type, it is a fish. Diet, it is a carnivore. That means it eats meat.
And only
The average lifespan in the wild is 15 or more years. All right, the size is 6.5 to 10.5 feet, so definitely taller than a grown-up, and its weight is 200 to 350 pounds. Look at that shark right there. Wow! I would not want to see that in the water. All right, sand tigers generally hunt at night. I did not know that. Just above the ocean floor. Sand tiger sharks like the shallow water close to shore, and so have sand in their name. The tiger was inspired by their big appetite. Sand tiger sharks look ferocious with a row of jagged teeth that you can see even when their mouths are closed. However, these fish are not very aggressive toward people and bother people only when people bother them first. Many aquariums keep sand tiger sharks in their shark exhibits because they're so impressive looking and survive well in captivity. That means like in an aquarium. On the top of its body, a sand tiger is brownish gray and often sprinkled with darker spots. It's white, or its belly is whitish. All right, so here's another map of the world. Here's our key right here. Wherever the yellow is where sand tiger sharks live, okay? So we can see here on the east coast of North America, this is where we live. Chicago is right in here, okay? This is us. Okay, here's the coast. We see down here on the coast of South America. All right, this continent is called Africa. You see little pieces of yellow all the way up and down and around the coast. All right, this is Europe right here. Lots of yellow right in here. Lots of yellow on the eastern side of Africa. And look at all of this surrounding Asia. That's a big, big spot of yellow around Asia. And then all the way around Australia. Look at that. All of Australia. Okay, so that's where sand tiger sharks live. Not sure what that video was. Okay, so we'll just move it right on up here. Some kinds of sharks lay eggs. Others, like the sand tiger, give birth to live young called pups. A newborn can swim and eat right away. When young, their main danger is bigger sharks. But once they grow to full size, they no longer have major predators to worry about. Okay, and a predator is the animal that would try to
Hunt them.
hunt it. Okay, much better word than I was saying. Hunt them. All right, so cool, guys. That is a little bit about sand tiger sharks. All right, what do you think of that? Okay, so before we go, let's see if I can pull up this last video. All right, here is a live stream. Oh, I hope this link works. Of sharks from the Monterey Bay Aquarium in California. Let's see if my link worked. Cross our fingers. We're gonna leave YouTube. You've got to be squitting me. Oh, the page does not exist. All right, if you got a moment, let's see if we can find it. Webcams. I don't know what happened to my links. Here we go. I had pulled up for you guys, this is it, the Shark Cam. Watch the cam. All right, so this is an aquarium in Monterey Bay in California, the West Coast, very far from Chicago. All right. Let's see here. We are frozen. Hey, there we go. All right. So we get to see a little bit of the aquarium right here. This is a live cam. That means this is happening right now. They have some cameras inside this aquarium. All right. So even after we close this video session, feel free to pull it up. It's the live webcam. I'm sorry, my link wasn't working in the lesson plans. I'll try and fix that, but should be easy to Google Monterey Bay Aquarium live webcam. All right, you know, take some time to watch this. Might be kind of peaceful. All right, where I'm at right now, it's rainy, so this is kind of a fun rainy day thing to take a look at. All right, all right, what do you think the fish are doing? All right, I saw a shark just a little bit ago. Did you see one? Oh, there's one at the bottom.
That might be one.
All right, I see one off in the back there. Oh, yeah. There it is.
There's that shark.
Yep, there's a little guy right there. Here comes one. All right, I'd be curious to know what kind of shark that is. All right.
Oh, there's the guy.
There's another one. You know, in our reading, it did say that sand tiger sharks were good for surviving in captivity. I do not know if these are sand tiger sharks. I'd have to look it up. But anyways, so that's that, bears. If mommies and daddies want to look up this, it's the Monterey Bay Aquarium live webcam in the Shark Tank. All right. Pretty cool, huh?
Bye.
It's kind of peaceful. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today with me. All right, I hope you've enjoyed times with Miss Michelle and her brain breaks, Miss Mimi and her bedtime stories with you.
She read the fart book today.
She's going to read that on Tuesday. She's going to
Oh.
read that tonight. All right. We just know what she's going to read ahead of time. But anyways, all right, Bears, I wish you well. Join me for Zoom at 10 o'clock. I should be posting these before we do our Zoom meeting. We're going to make instruments. So be sure to find your rubber bands and something to wrap them around.
Ooh, that's
We'll
gonna
pluck
be
away.
fun.
All right, Bears, I love you.
Can we
Cannot
read
wait
the
to
fart
see you.
book now?
All right, bye. I wish you well.